Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Delaney and for today's video I'm going to be decluttering powders. I know this is not a glamorous category by any means, but it's necessary. If you want good makeup, you gotta have a good base, and I have way too many in my collection and I need to get rid of them because a lot of them are old. So if you're interested in seeing which ones are worth keeping around and which ones are not, then keep on watching. What we're not gonna do is talk about my nails, okay? I just trimmed them. There's gel polish on here that won't come off. It's a whole ordeal. This is what happens when I go get my nails done and I want it to last. Yeah, no, this one peeled off, this one peeled off, and it's gel polish. And I can't get the others off immediately because they're not ready to come off. So my nails are just going to look like this. So I am so sorry that my nails look absolutely atrocious, but let's just move on. These are going to go by pretty quick because I know what I like, I know what I don't like. So we're going to start out with pressed powders first and then go from there. So first up, I have a mini sample size of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores little powder here, and there's actually a decent amount of product in here, and I haven't hit pan yet, and I actually like this powder. I don't use it too often because I am a dry skin gal, but when I do use it, I do like the finish. It's just a little bit matte for me, but if I want to blur some pores, this is what I'm reaching for. So this is going to be a keep, especially because of the size. I feel like I will get through it pretty much. So yeah, this is a keep. All right, I don't normally use a lot of pressed powders, well, in powder in general. So the ones that I do keep, I want to actually know that I'm going to use them, just as a heads up. So this one is a little bit harder. This is from number 7, and I bought this because I thought this was going to be the dupe for the Natasha Denona airbrush powder, and it turns out this is not the same one people were talking about. This is the translucent perfect light pressed powder. It's okay. It's not my favorite powder ever. It's just kind of I don't know. You know what? I should probably declutter this. It was actually kind of expensive. The packaging is very similar in shape to Charlotte Tilbury's powder, but the other one, I bought the wrong one. That was on me. But I'm going to declutter this to someone who's a little bit more oily skinned, a friend. So yeah, this one just doesn't work for me as well with my dry skin. So yeah, this is a declutter. Also, if you've seen my other declutter videos, all this makeup is accounted for. If I'm decluttering something, please don't ask me for it. It's awkward and weird. Let's not do it. Okay? Cool. Next up, we have a pressed powder that's been in my collection for way too long. This is from MAC, and this is in shade Light. It's a next to nothing powder. Oh my god, it barely opened. It was like creaking. It's very dirty. I've hit major pan on it. I had this powder in high school. I am not in high school anymore. It's been a while since high school, so I need to get rid of this powder. Granted, powders do last a long time. It's a really beautiful powder. It makes your skin look really great, actually. But I feel like I want to rediscover MAC now that I know more about makeup. I loved this when I was in high school, and I still do like it. I just don't reach for it because it's so old. Part of me wants to keep it just because it's nostalgic for me, but I don't need it in my collection. I never use it, so declutter. I even have another one. So this is the same. Oh, this is a Studio Care Blend pressed powder. I think I thought I was getting the next to nothing powder, and I got the wrong one. But I still, as you can see, used the crap out of this. So clearly, I really got a lot of good use out of my MAC powder products. I'm going to have to rediscover that now and see what I think about it. But as for this powder, I'm going to have to declutter it because it's, again, I bought this probably in high school and I am well out of college. So let's not. So that's a declutter. Now to a pressed powder that I'm going to keep. Absolutely. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in shade 1. And I really enjoy this powder. I don't powder my face too often, but when I do, I actually really do like this powder. It's not too drying. It has a little bit of a hydrating quality to it without being like hydrating because it is a powder. It does mattify the skin, but it looks very airbrushed. Now, would I say go out and spend all your money on this powder? Probably not. but I am not the best person to ask about this anyway, just because I don't wear a ton of powder, and I just don't get my full use out of it because I don't wear a lot of powder. And if I do wear a powder, it's probably going to be a loose powder just because I find that that's easier. But I still really do enjoy this, especially for touch-ups. Under the eyes, I don't love it as much as I do on the rest of the face. But yeah, definitely give it a shot and see. And they have a mini, so you can try the mini first to see if you like that. I love when powders come in minis, so definitely try the mini first if you haven't tried this formula. But I will say it is a nice powder. It does not dry my skin out, and I do appreciate that. And it looks beautiful on the skin. So I'm going to keep this. Next up, I have two, one big, one little, of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. And I have shade Luminous Light in the mini and shade Dim Light in the big one. I kind of thought I was buying the Luminous Light in the big one, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't. Ironically, it kind of worked out better, but I love Luminous Light. This I hit pan on like in a major way. I absolutely love the way this powder makes my skin look. It just blends everything together beautifully. This is a finishing powder. This is not a setting powder. This has some pearl in it that makes your skin glow and look so nice and radiant, and just like everything is airbrushed and blended perfectly together. I love this powder. I thought I was buying it in the same shade when I did the big full size one, but I bought Dim Light instead. But I will say Luminous Light is more luminous, as the name goes. Dim Light looks more natural, which I actually end up preferring. I'm glad that I was trying this one instead. This one is less shiny and glittery. Not that this is glittery really, it's just definitely more luminous. This one looks like a natural filter. It looks like a natural, like, filtered look though. It looks so pretty. It's perfect for blending out everything and making everything seamless, airbrush looking. Love this powder. I rarely go a day without this powder or one that's about to come up. This is so beautiful, and I'm going to keep repurchasing this powder because I love it that much. It's so good. Once I hit pan on this, which I know I will, I'm going to repurchase. And it lasts forever. This mini lasted me for a year or more, maybe even more than a year. And then, so this one's going to last me a long time. So I won't have to repurchase it anytime soon. But I love it. I love both of them. I have a little baby bit left in this. That's why I'm keeping it. I love these Hourglass powders so much. They look like a filter in a powder. It's beautiful. So keep. In that same breath, this is a dupe, in my opinion, for the Hourglass powders. Do not know if this is still available. This is the NYX High Glass Finishing Powder. Now, the packaging's horrible. It never stays closed, and it's just cheap plastic, but this is a beautiful, beautiful powder. It's in shade Light. This looks very similar to the Hourglass powder in pan and on the face. I will say the Hourglass one wins by a little bit. It just looks a little bit more airbrushed, a little bit more flawless than when I use this, but this is very, very, very close. Enough that the price tag should lean in this one's favor. The only thing I will say is I don't think this is available anymore, and that makes me very, very sad. If I find another one of this, I'm going to get a backup. But because I have the Hourglass one in my collection, I'm not as sad to see it go, but I wish they would have kept this around because this is perfect. It's a perfect dupe, and it was way more affordable than the Hourglass one. But this is such a good product. This whole like NYX High Glass line I've heard is just nothing but great things. And the Born to Glow concealer. But they're getting rid of that too. So I don't know what's going on with NYX right now, but I'm going to be keeping this powder. I've already hit pan on it, and I'm going to pan it fully. So yeah, this is a keeper. This is my last of the pressed powders. This is from Flower Beauty, and this is their Light Illusion Perfecting Powder in the shade Porcelain. So I don't really love the packaging as much. It has like one layer of compact here, and then it has this little powder sponge thing with a mirror. I guess it's okay for touch-ups if you're taking it on the go. It's just a little bit bulky, I feel like, to put in your purse if you're going to do that. But the powder itself feels very, very similar to the Airbrush Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. The only reason that I don't get as much use out of this is because of the shade. This is shade Porcelain, but it's very pigmented, as you can tell when I kind of swatch it. it's a little darker than my skin tone. So I cannot use this under my eyes or it will make my under eyes look dark. Don't want that. I want to be bright there. So already off the bat, I can only use it on my face. I have found that when I am spot concealing, this is the perfect powder to set my spot concealing concealer with, because it's, I don't know, it just has like that extra coverage in it, and it really helps to make it blend in with the rest of my foundation. I don't know why, but it's a very hydrating powder, which I do love because I am dry skinned. So love the formula. I wish there was an actual true translucent option. I did not see one at my particular CVS. I think that's where I bought this. But yeah, I'm going to keep it, give it some more time and more love, because I think it's actually a really good powder. Now we are moving on to the loose powders. So first of all, I just wanted to give this a shout out because it's in my drawer and I'm seeing it. Might as well talk about it. So I have these poofs from Camera Ready Cosmetics. These are amazing. If you're a makeup artist, you need these little poofs, but they have disposable ones that you can get that are less expensive. This one for personal use is perfect. It is super soft and cushiony, not too expensive, and I love the way a powder puff applies powder onto the face, and you can really get a nice airbrushed finish. So I highly recommend one of these if you don't have them. They have them at cheaper ones, cheaper alternatives, but the Camera Ready Cosmetics one is one that I really do love. I even like it, I think, better than the Laura Mercier one. I guess they're about the same, but this one is really, really good. Definitely look into that if you're interested. Loose powder. So first up, we have a Bare Minerals translucent powder. First of all, this is not translucent. It almost looks pink. I don't understand why this is classified as translucent. But yeah, it's almost pink. So I have not tried this yet. It's brand new in my collection. Someone gave me this as a sample. Actually, I think, was it Ulta or Sephora that gave me this as a birthday gift, I think? One of the two. Anyway, I think it was Ulta gave me this as a birthday gift. I have not tried it yet. I've heard good things about the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil, and it is technically translucent, so I guess we'll see how translucent it is, but it is a loose finishing powder, and I'm interested in trying that out because I haven't tried anything from Bare Minerals since high school. So yeah, I'm keeping that. Okay, this one is from Pixi. I think I'm going to declutter this one just because the packaging is very bulky and I don't end up using it a ton. It is unique though because it has its own kind of powder puff, and it kind of comes through the powder puff onto the skin. I don't find that I use it that way as much. It would be nice for touch-ups. I don't find myself reaching for it. I think I need something flat to put in my purse, not tall like this. So it just doesn't work for touch-ups on the go unless I just like keep it in my car or something. And I don't know. I got this at TJ Maxx a very long time ago, and it's not my favorite. So I am going to declutter. Another one, let's see. This is the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. I loved this for a long time. I actually used almost all of it up, as you can probably tell by the packaging. There's a little bit left in there. But Becca no longer exists, and it is an older powder now because it's not cool anymore. Originally, when I got this, if you put it on your face and on your skin, it had a cooling effect. It does not now because it's older and it's been open for a long time. I actually really enjoyed this powder to set the face, not as much the under eyes. I found that it did oxidize a little bit under the eyes, but as far as the whole face went, I liked this, and obviously I got a lot of use out of it, but I think it's time for this to go because it's clearly old. It doesn't work the same anymore, so I'm going to declutter. Anybody who's anybody in the beauty community, you should know. Laura Mercier setting powder. Every influencer ever was going insane about this powder a while ago. I don't hear as much about it now as I did then, but I have a mini and a full size. I think one of them I got for free, and I can't remember which one. I don't know if it was this one and I got from a friend. I don't know. Either way, the big one, I've actually used about maybe half of the powder of the big one. And then I have the mini and it's almost full. Do I need both? You know what? I haven't actually used this as a finishing powder in a long time because I stopped setting my under eyes with this. I just didn't find that it was the best for it. Okay. Okay, these are two different powders. This one is the mineral finishing powder and this one is the translucent loose setting powder. So maybe I was mixing the two up. Maybe I thought I thought this was a setting powder. Maybe I thought this was a finishing one. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to figure that out because I actually do like both powders. I'm going to keep them both. I thought they were both the same. They're not. This is a setting powder. This is a finishing powder. So now that I know the difference, I'm going to put them to the test and then make my final decision. So I'm going to keep them both for now. That's why I didn't like it under the eyes. Maybe it was a finishing powder and I put it underneath my eyes. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. All right. Next up, we have two from Ciate London. Okay, this one I got in a BoxyCharm. This one is the coconut setting powder, Everyday Vacay. And this is the Extraordinary Translucent Powder. The Extraordinary one, I almost finished. It was really good for a time. I was more oily skinned back then, so that could have been a reason why I used so much of this, but it was a good powder. But I don't use powder as much anymore. And if I do, I have the ones that I love. So I think I'm going to get rid of both of these. The coconut one, I don't like because it's scented like coconut, and I didn't really love the way this felt on my skin as much as the Extraordinary powder. I got both of these in a BoxyCharm, so I did not pay full price for either one of them. I am not attached to either one of them, so I'm going to declutter. Speaking of BoxyCharm, I got this one in there. This one's from Smashbox, and oh my god, how cute is it? It looks like a camera lens cover thing. So cute. This is in shade 01. Photo Finish Fresh Setting Powder. Now, what is interesting about this powder, though, it's fresh powder with every twist. So it's solid, like a pressed powder, and then when you twist it, it like shaves off some powder for you. And I actually like the formula. It's just a little too pigmented for me. Like, even the fact that this is the light one, like it's shade 01. It's a little dark on me, so I have to use it to set my face and not under eyes. And I feel like I can find this a new home with someone who can genuinely get a lot of use out of it. So I'm going to declutter this. The formula is not bad, and I love that it's fresh powder all the time. But yeah, I just need to find a new home for this. I just don't end up reaching for it too much. So declutter. Too Faced. I never used this one. I got this in a BoxyCharm. This is an ethereal setting powder. I don't use setting powders a ton, so why do I have so many? I don't know. I'm going to find a new home for this one. I did not get enough use out of it to actually genuinely give a review, but I'm going to find this new home. Declutter. All right, this one is actually really good for touch-ups. This is from Bare Minerals, and this is their Translucent Powder Duo. This product I got from TJ Maxx, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I like the matte side better than I like the glow side. The matte side does a great job of obviously mattifying the skin and looking really nice and airbrushed. The glow side, though, do you see the glitter in here? I'm hoping it's picking up on camera. It is just straight glitter. Yeah, that's glitter right there. So I don't need glitter in my powder. I'm going to declutter this. Even though I like one half, this half, I'm just going to declutter and find a new home. I can't believe I have this many powders. I didn't even realize it. So this is a much needed declutter. Next up, I have the e.l.f. HD powder. And this is in shade Soft Luminance. And this is another one of those that kind of has some glitter in it. Yeah, it's very glittery, but, you know, I don't actually remember how I feel about this. I'm going to give it one more shot as a highlighter, because it is glittery. So maybe I might use this as, like, a natural-looking highlight. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a shot as that before I declutter it. So this is kind of like a maybe, give it one more shot, last chance kind of thing. Because normally I don't like glitter in my setting powders. So, but it does say it's a luminous powder. So we'll see, we'll find out, but this one's on the chopping block. If I don't like it when I use it the next time, I'm gonna declutter it. So yeah, keep for now. I found another Laura Mercier powder. So I knew I had a mini of the setting powder as well. This one is empty, actually. So yeah, there's nothing left in here. I knew I got through one of them. Okay, so this one I'm going to declutter because it's empty, but clearly I used the setting powder. You may recognize this from my ranking my 2021 products video. This is the Tatcha, the silk powder. I hate this powder. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I don't like the packaging. I don't like the product. I was expecting so much more from Tatcha because they have the primers that are raved about and everything like that, but I can't all be winners, I guess. But this is just, again, glittery, but it also is drying. So I really don't like this powder. I'm going to declutter it. I got this sent for me free for review from Influencer, but I'm going to go ahead and declutter it because I never touch it because I really don't like it. This one I got from TJ Maxx for $10, so that one was an amazing find. I was so proud of myself for finding that, and I was so lucky that it was there. This is from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. This is their loose setting powder in translucent, and it is huge. It's huge. I don't know if I need this much, but I think it's gonna last one more declutter because I actually do like the powder. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it this time. If I don't touch it again, I'm gonna declutter it next time. But this is a keep. I think it's a nice powder. It's not really it's definitely a mattifying powder, standard setting powder. Nothing great about it, but I like it, so I'm gonna keep it. So this one is from Maybelline, and this is the Fit Me powder. This is my favorite drugstore powder, other than the NYX finishing powder. But this is such a good loose powder. I love it so much. I'm keeping it, absolutely. It has a lovely finish to it. This is in shade Fair. This is a great powder. I don't know what else I can say about this. It makes my skin look beautiful, and it's from the drugstore. It's nice and affordable. I'm gonna keep it. This one is also more affordable. I don't know if I want to call it drugstore or not, but I got this, I think, at Kroger. This is the Coty Airspun. I think they have it at Target as well. This is a loose face powder in their original formula. I think they now have a scent-free one, fragrance-free one. I hope they do, but this one, this is a great powder, and it does come with its own little puff, but the puff's kind of useless in my opinion. It's a beautiful powder. It's not too mattifying, like it's not too drying on my skin. Kind of has a little bit of a hydrating quality to it for a powder. Like it keeps my skin's moisture pretty well. But I really enjoy it. It's very finely milled, really looks beautiful and airbrushed on the skin. I like this powder a lot. This is my second one. I've actually been through a whole one of these and then I repurchased. So I am definitely keeping this in my collection. One thing I wish I could do is take away the smell, but after it's been open for a while, the smell kind of goes away a little bit. So it's a lot more bearable. It smells like a grandma, but it's a good powder, so I can look past it. So this is a keep. Last but very not least, this is my powder that I use every day. I almost forgot to mention this because it was on my vanity and not in the drawer. So this is from RCMA, and I love this powder. This is the original no color powder. You get a ton in here. It's going to take me forever to get through this, but I love this powder so much. It's great for setting the under eyes, setting the face. You only need a little baby bit, and it's just perfect. I love it. Not too drying, not too crazy, but it mattifies the skin well if needed, and I love it. So I'm going to keep it. I did find another one. It's a mini, and it was hiding from me. So this is from Inglot. I got this in my makeup artist kit from Online Makeup Academy. This is their translucent loose powder. I really like this formula. It is very finely milled. It is beautiful on the skin. It works really well. I don't really know how to describe powders that well. It is definitely not luminous at all. Both the RCMA one and the Inglot one, they're very similar in formulation. They're colorless, they're finely milled, they look beautiful on the skin, they mattify without drying the skin, and that's perfect. So I'm keeping both. This one's also nice and compact, perfect for a kit. All right, so that is all of the powders. I've kept 15, decluttered 12. So I've kept a little bit more than I've decluttered, but 2 of them I think were maybes. So yeah, you know what? To make it even, I am going to declutter this HD powder from e.l.f. It is too sparkly. I know I wanted to give it a shot as a highlighter, but I know I'm not going to do that because I have a ton of highlighters. So I'm going to declutter that. I think it's okay because this one's almost empty. So I'm happy with where we are. I've decluttered half. So 13 and 13 technically. I've kept 13, decluttered 13. This one is a mini that's about to be tossed anyway once I use this little baby bit. So I've decluttered my collection by half for powders. I'm good with it. So yes, cool. Powders are done. All right, so that was my powder declutter. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know powder is not the most glamorous of all the categories, but I am going one by one through my makeup collection and trying to make it more manageable and only keep the products that I actually really want to use. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day or night wherever you are. Please stay happy, safe, and healthy out there. And please like and subscribe if you would like to see more content from me, if you enjoyed this video, and let me know down below which category you'd like to see next. I am keeping eyeshadow palettes for the end, but I'm open to hearing your suggestions. So please let me know in the comments, and is there a powder that is not in here that I should try? Please let me know. All right, thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.